That's all. When this bell system seal fades out, shut off the projector. Everything will be properly set for your show to begin.
I want the bucket seats and the sports.
Will it cost any extra with white wall tire?
I like all those instruments on the dashboard.
The upholstery can be cleaned by wiping it
all
off.
the kids and all the luggage in the back.
I think the convertible is a much prettier
There
car.
are 4 models of the same engine.
On this model, the air conditioning comes at no
I'd
extra
love
cost.
to take a trial ride. Do you think we can?
Music for doing anything by today, and a lovely kind of a day at the end there. A wonderful day for doing anything by. Traffic moving along very nicely. A little drive to the beach. You be sure and take us along with you all day today.
Add up the total population of Kansas City, Mobile, Toronto, Miami, and Des Moines. Every man, woman, and child. And you will about equal the number injured in automobile accidents in the United States and Canada in only 12 months. The number killed each year has soared past 40,000, and the automobile population continues to grow at a rate of some 2 million cars each year. Mechanical failure, poor driving conditions, seldom. Nearly 9 out of every 10 accidents had nothing to do with mechanical failure or poor driving conditions. They were caused by driver error and the lack of good judgment. There is no question. The most effective single item of protective equipment available to help reduce the ever-increasing toll of injuries and deaths is the seatbelt.
Why should you use seat belts? Well, I don't know exactly how to put it because it's the main answer to that is to save your own life. And I don't know what I have to say to convince you of that. You know, I can see almost every morning on my way to the studio in Hollywood, on the freeway, some tremendous car-on-car pileups. Almost daily I see it as I go in and again as I come home. A seatbelt stops you from being thrown through the windshield in the case of a really serious accident. And serious accidents and sudden stops aren't quite as infrequent as you might think, especially if you drive on the highways or the freeways, expressways around the country. Get in the habit of always putting those seat belts on. You don't have to be going 50, 60, 70 miles an hour to be killed in an accident. Most traffic deaths, statistics show, happen at speeds of 40 miles an hour or below, within a 25-mile radius of your own home. So there's more chance of you being killed in an automobile accident in the block where you live than out on the highway going to visit your grandmother. As a matter of fact, any time and every time you get in the car is the time to fasten that seat belt. A lot of people feel a little tied in, a little constricted by having a seat belt, but believe me, if you'll just try them, you'll find that you don't feel constricted. On the contrary, I found out from experience, it's just a matter of getting used to it. I prefer my own seat belt very snug. I like it good and tight. It gives me a secure feeling. I feel more a part of the car. And then people who have never tried using a seatbelt or who have a seatbelt in their car and don't like it, claim to have a feeling of being trapped, feeling of not being able to get out. But most of these same people have taken airplane trips many, many times and have used seat belts. And I have a teenage son who's slowly but surely becoming of driving age, and he's beginning to think about his learner's permit. And he said something the other day that surprised me. He said, well, the seat belts are a sissy. Why should you have a seat belt and fasten yourself into your high chair like a little baby? And I pointed out to him that some of the racing drivers, all of the racing drivers, and the world's famous racing drivers in the sports cars and at Indianapolis, wouldn't even start their motors without being firmly rooted to that car with a safety belt. I won't let my family even get settled in the car. I won't start the motor until everybody, front seat and back seat, are fastened in. So many people have seat belts in their cars today. They sit on them. I heard the joke said that I like seat belts all right, but they're so uncomfortable to sit on. So many cars are equipped with seat belts today, people don't use them. Having them is one thing, using them is another. I can give you a good suggestion if you would like to learn the value of seat belts. Have an accident sometime. I had one. A head-on collision with a stone wall. I was doing about 50 miles an hour, more than I should say. I went into a slide headed west, right at the peak of a very sharp curve near UCLA, and lost control of the car. I couldn't straighten it out. I finally hit this wall at about 50 miles an hour. The car flipped off the wall and back into the street again, turning completely over. Now, I had the top down, and I could have been killed right away. I looked at the car. I was sitting just in the chassis. The body was gone about 20 yards behind me. All the wheels had turned out flat. My steering wheel was under the dashboard, and the seat itself was twisted very badly, and I didn't have a scratch on me. I undid my seat belt and got out and looked at the car, and I said, the man who drove this car should be dead. I don't know what happened. It all happened a little too fast. I don't remember the car flipping over. The witnesses told me. I only know that had I not had that seat belt, I would have gone head first through this hard cement wall. So I just thank God that I had the good sense to wear my seat belts around my lap.
Good sense. I had the good sense to wear my seatbelt. But what could happen to you if you didn't have the good sense? Here's an experiment conducted at the University of California using mannequins to represent your family. The speed, only 40 miles an hour. The front of the car disintegrates in a shower of glass and torn metal. Not using seatbelts, you, the driver, and your family continue to hurtle forward at 40 miles an hour. Heavy structural members rip through other metal parts of the car as the mass tries to come to an abrupt halt. Inside, extended arms and legs ineffectively try to halt the uncontrolled movement of bodies and seats. Such enormous pressure, your body bends the steering column to a vertical upright position. The passenger in the front seat is thrown through the tangle of glass and metal. The children in the back seat are bounced toy-like anywhere, against anything. 40 miles an hour. You, the driver, now follow your family, pulled beyond the crumbling metal that was your car. The time all this took? Well, watch again. Less than the tick of a clock. In fact, just about half a tick. Of all the lives lost each year in this split second, thousands would be alive today if they had used, if only they'd had good sense.
Sound of the end there. Homeward bound traffic now getting to be on the bill. Traffic on the drive getting heavy eastbound. Moderate westbound. The bridge and the expressway, though, move well. Don't tailgate. Keep a distance from that car in front of you. And how about your seatbelts? You got them buckled up? Till tomorrow, we'll be seeing you, and it's been a beautiful day. Drive carefully. Don't spoil it.